Good morning, Satvika, Shizel, Alma, Nishan, Shraddha, Shalendra. Okay, good morning. Welcome back. Okay, so good morning to all of you. Nishan, Uday, Nishan, be regular, bete. Okay, be regular. Some those who are okay, try to be the regular. So the topic budget is going on. Yes. So we will discuss about the other points which are there in the objectives of the government budget. What are the main objectives of the government budget? Okay. So 2 points yesterday we could not complete. Now we will complete those points. So the very first point is okay, or else we can have a glance over the points. First, that we discuss about the GDP growth rate. That is the main objective of the government to increase GDP growth rate. Okay, all the government want that their GDP growth rate must be in the 2 digit. Second is allocation of the resources. Okay, so that the poor sections of the society they can also use the resources for their betterment. Okay, and the government imposes high taxes those who, the goods which are not good for the health, particularly injurious to health, and provision of the public goods. So in the provision of public goods like hospitals, roads, law, order, defense, power, these are the public goods provided by the government of India. Fourth point which I taught you, redistribution of income and wealth. So putting the heavy taxes on the richer and the middle class, and subsidies are provided to the poor section of the society. Poor section of the society. Fifth, balanced regional growth. Balanced regional growth means all the regions, means all the states must develop equally. There must be balanced development of all the states. So government cannot focus only on one state, okay, or only two states, or particularly any region, for example, North India or South India or Central, East or West. No, equal. There must be equal development of all the regions. Got it? Why it should be there? Let the head is increasing and the other part of the body is not increasing. Imbalance. There will be a situation of imbalance. Let okay, right hand is increasing, the length is more and more, and the length of the left is okay decreasing. So there will be imbalanced growth. So balance means myself means, for example, myself is economic. So there must be the balanced growth of all the regions, like all the parts of the body. If you talk about head, forehead, legs, or my arms. Employment opportunities. This is the next point. Point number 6. Point number 6 is employment opportunities. Employment opportunities. So this is the okay. In the budget, government focus on the employment opportunities because population is increasing. So for the increased population, we have to provide certain jobs, activities, economic activities. So for that, government always publish the new job opportunities. Okay, so government of India recruit number of persons. Okay, in their different departments. We can say every year. So when every year government recruit the workers in their different departments, either defense, health, education, law, order, or power generation. Okay, or subordinate selection boards, so and so on. So this is the objective of the government to recruit the new persons, okay, or fill the recruitment so that employment opportunities can be increased. Now you may ask one point: what about those those who are illiterate or having only first, second, third, or fourth, fifth standard education. For them, particularly those who are living in the rural areas, or in the villages. So Manrega scheme is also there. Okay, Manrega scheme is also there. What do you mean by the Manrega? MG Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. In the year in which year this was implemented by the government? Please let me know. So people will be getting 100 days work per head per person. Per person will be getting 100 days guaranteed work in a year. So this is the minimum he will be getting. Minimum 100 days he will be getting. So sometime in certain areas, people they are getting the jobs more than 200 days. Okay, more than 200 days. Okay, it is up to the area. If the government has more budget or when number of workers are less, so automatically it will take more time to complete any task. Like there is a project of the construction of wall or construction of the check dam. So if number of workers are 5, it means it will take more time. On the other hand, if number of workers are 20, so automatically work will be completed very soon. See, here under this Manrega scheme, government focus more on labor intensive technique, not capital intensivity. More and more use of the labor intensive technique. This is what I taught you in class 11. That there are two techniques of production. One is labor, another is capital. Okay. So the main objective of the this is also the main objective of the budget to increase the employment opportunities in the government in the country and reduce the unemployment level. Okay, okay, dears. Point number 7. Okay. Point number 7. Economic stability. Economic stability. Better nobody responded. In which year this was implemented? Out of 16, nobody responded. All Mona, 2006. Okay. Anyone else? Please let me know. No? This session. This is recovery. August, Suhani, 2005. 2005. Good. Manrega 2005. Right to education 2009. Okay. Next topic which we will discuss right now, that is related to the economic stability in the economic stability. Economic stability. Do you know what the meaning of? Do you understand the meaning of economic stability in the economy? Do you think this is very important? Why there must be economic stability in any economy? See, the main object, okay, the objective of the budget to maintain the stability. See, before stability, you may ask that what is the reason for the trade cycles? This is nothing but trade cycle. Got it? This is your trade cycle. Let me write. This is your trade cycle. Okay? This is not slave, this is trade cycle. Now reason for the trade cycle. Why there is up and down? Okay. Because in your country, economy is not only operated, okay, controlled by the government, but private sector is also there, where private sector is also playing its important role. Means the mixed economy, on the one hand government, on the other hand private sector, both are playing their important role, and prices are determined by the market forces. Prices are determined by the market forces means demand and supply. Demand and supply. When you talk about the price of any commodity, so where their demand will intersect, this is OP and OQ. Two forces are there, demand and supply. So where they both intersect to each other, corresponding to it, OP price, OQ quantity. Now, when market forces decide the price and amount for any commodity, it means definitely there will be fluctuation or trade cycle in the economy. Now, how to control these cycles? Okay, or if cycles are there, then what government should do? So, if there is a recession, for example, recession and depression, see this COVID time, so there was recession in the beginning, and there was also depression. Got it? So when there was recession and depression, so government followed or adopted monetary and the fiscal policy. Fiscal policy. So when we talk about the monetary policy is over, that we have discussed earlier in the banking chapter. So during the recession and the depression time, government provided, okay, aids, okay, or we can say financial help, or government also provided like LPG cylinders refill under the Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Free refill of the cylinder was, okay. So this program started by the government. Government also provided free meal for the people, those who are living the below poverty line. Got it? And other like this, other facilities were provided by the government. Okay, I am talking about fiscal policy of the government. Okay, so this policy can be used. This means fiscal and the monetary both can be used during the recession and depression. Recession is slow down. This is the part. Depression is somewhere here only. Again, there was a recovery. Okay, recovery. Okay, for the recovery of the economy, government started all these schemes. When there is a recovery, if recovery is more and more better, means after one time what happened? Economy start running smoothly. Public and private sectors play their role, and both of them they are running on the right track. Got it? Right track. So when there is a right track, and again demand is keep on increasing for goods and services. So inflation starts in the economy. Okay, or we can say very soon economy also experience about the inflation in the economy. So to tackle the inflation, to tackle the situation of inflation, government again can apply both the instruments. One is monetary policy, another is the fiscal policy. So in the fiscal policy, government will not be providing any kind of facilities. Subsidies will be very less. taxes will be more. Okay, government expenditure will decrease. Okay, so this way government can stabilize its economy. Got it? So this is about the economic stability. Economic stability. Okay, dears. About the economic stability in the economy. So when there is a stability, when there is economic stability in the economy, GDP rate always increases. FDI is also increases in the economy. Foreign multinational corporations, if they observe that economy is running smoothly, there is a stability, definitely they will go for the investment, either FDI or FII. Okay, so more jobs opportunities will be created in the economy. Okay, so next, high order thinking skills. Thoughts. Next topic is thoughts. Meanwhile, you can read the question. Meanwhile, you can read the question with it. Okay. So what is there in the question? On the page number 294. Page number 294. So only one question is there. What do you mean by the fiscal discipline? Fiscal discipline. Discipline. What happens if the fiscal discipline is not maintained in the economy? So the meaning of the fiscal discipline. Fiscal discipline. Fiscal discipline means government. If you talk about that, your discipline, your fiscal discipline means your income and expenditures are same. Got it? Means expenditure is not more than income. If your revenue is 100 crore, your expenditure is also 100 crore. When both are equal. Okay, means when the expenditures of the government is equal to the government revenue, government receipt, this is called discipline. Discipline. Okay, fiscal discipline. Now, second part of the question: what happens if fiscal discipline is not maintained? If it is not maintained, now, okay, expenditure is 200 crore, expenditure is 200 crore, and revenue is only 150 crore. So your expenditure is greater than the revenue. Your expenditure will be more than the revenue. In this case, you have to borrow. Got it? So there you have to miss. Why not to trim extravagant, unwanted expenditures? So the main objective of the government to reduce or trim unwanted expenditure. Okay, and the money or the revenue must be used for the right cause, for the right purpose, for the investment, not only and only for consumption purpose. If government will be using the revenue only and only for donation, only and only for the subsidies, then this may turn a serious issue for the economy. Got it? So this money or revenue must be used for the productive purpose, must be used for the investment. If there will be investment, okay, for example, you have 50,000 rupee. If you are enjoying with the 50,000, only consumption expenditure is there. Only and only consumption expenditure. You are purchasing new mobile devices, okay, picnic parties or entertainment, watching movies in the cinema halls. Okay, so there is only consumption. Another student is there. What he did, he invested 40,000 and consumed 10,000 rupee. Okay, invested 10,000. Let minimum. Okay, somewhere he invested in the bank, for example, for FDs, or let he invested in the markets, in the capital markets. Got it? Or started small business. So that 40,000 will be increasing his income. He will be getting either rate of interest or profit. So this way he will be in the profit only. Next topic is structure of the budget. Structure of the budget. The main topic is structure of the budget. This is another important question. Structure or component of the budget. Structure or component of the budget. Okay. So budget generally divided into two parts. One is that is your budget receipts and budget expenditure. One is budget receipts, another is budget expenditure, like your income and your expenditure. Your income and your expenditure between. Okay, so budget receipts. This is the main source of the revenue for the government. Source of the revenue. Main source of the revenue. Okay. The revenue for the government in an accounting year, and government expenditure, like we people are paying the taxes. So the tax is also main source of earning for the government. Now government expenditure. Another is government expenditure. Okay. So 2 points are there. In these 2 points, further we will discuss about the categories of the receipts and the categories of expenditures. Means how many type of expenditures are there in the economy? How many type of receipts are there in the economy? So one by one we will discuss. So first of all, let us discuss for the budget receipts. Okay, or the meaning of the budget receipts. So these are the estimated receipts, source of revenue for the government in an accounting year. Okay, means government is expecting that in the next accounting year I can earn this much from the GST or income tax or from the other taxes. Okay, or the revenue from their companies, public enterprises. Okay, so the meaning of the receipts. So these are estimated money receipts, income of the government in a accounting year. In the same way, government expenditure. Okay, so let us discuss about the receipts. So two type of receipts are there. One is revenue receipt, another is capital receipts. So this is also important question between components of the budget or structure of the budget. Okay. Revenue receipts, and second is capital receipt. Sometimes there is a question that what is the difference between revenue receipt and the capital receipt? Okay, that what is the difference? For 3 marks, explain about the budget receipts only with the help of examples. Explain about the budget receipts. Okay, and give one or two examples from each. Got it? So first revenue receipt. First is your revenue receipts. So revenue receipts, when you will talk about the revenue receipt, so we will talk about the two main points. Okay. With reference to the assets and liabilities, two main point in each one is there. One assets, another is liability. So you have to check whether there is any effect on the assets or liability, whether assets or liabilities are increased or decreased with the change in any instrument. Okay. So first is revenue receipt. Revenue receipts. So these receipts do not create any corresponding liabilities. Do not create. Do not create any corresponding liabilities. No corresponding liabilities. Liabilities. No liabilities in this case. When you talk about the revenue receipt, no corresponding liabilities. Got it? For example, no liabilities, no corresponding liabilities within. So these receipts are those receipts which do not create any corresponding liability for the government. For the government. For example, when you pay the GST, when you pay the income tax, okay, or goods and services tax, so there is no any corresponding liabilities. Got it? Satvika, now see, so what I can say, is I will definitely enroll her, but we'll have 8:30. Last 9 minutes are left, and anyway, okay. Kushi, welcome, Mete. So when you pay the GST, got it? Or when we pay the income tax. So these are the one-sided payment. One-sided means we pay to the government. These are the one-sided tax. Only in payment. For example, you have spent huge amount of money, around 2-3 lakhs, and also paid handsome amount of GST to the government. That around 30,000. That around 30,000 GST. When you will pay the 30,000 rupee, even government will not say thank you. Understood? Are you getting? Otherwise, we are doing any favor, any small favor, expecting thank you at least. Okay, this is the human behavior, human nature. But when you are paying 30,000 rupees or more than that, got it? Yesterday, I was talking about the Kapil Sharma that he declared I had paid around 15 to 16 crore rupees as as an income tax. So government did not say even thanks for that huge contribution. So only one sided. So do not create any corresponding liabilities for the government. Okay. Another point. Another point. Point number one is clear. So I said about the liabilities. so no effect on the liabilities. Do not create any liabilities. Keep in mind 2 points. One is liability, another is assets. Okay, so do you think is there any effect on the assets of the government when government receive any amount of money as a taxes? So these receipts do not cause any reduction. Do not cause any reduction in government's assets. No, do not cause any reduction in the government assets. Why not? Because government is not selling its assets to get revenue receipts. Do you think government sold any property? Its property, its capital, its assets? No, it. I talk about with reference to this only, with reference to revenue receipts, with reference to this only. Keep in mind, these are the technical points, bete. These are the technical points. Keep in mind. Revenue receipts, main 2 points are there. One is effect on the assets and another liability. So revenue receipts of the government do not create any corresponding liabilities. Means government does not have to pay anything. Those who are paying the taxes. Second, do not cause any reduction in the assets. Means when I paid income tax, for example, when I paid income tax, it does not reduce the assets of the government because government is the receiver. Okay, is a receiver and I am the payer. Government is getting the tax, okay, taking the amount, and myself as a taxpayer paying the tax, income tax, for example. Okay, so do not cause any reduction in the assets. Any query? So which is why taxes paid by us is not a part. Okay, here. Okay, if government sell its shares or any, if government go for the disinvestment, means if government is selling the properties, okay, or selling its shares of public sectors, that does not fall in the category of this one. This means revenue receipts. Revenue receipts. Okay. Any query? Any doubts from these points? Okay. Now one question is there in the high order thinking skill. Okay, Harshit and Shrizel. Okay. Okay. Now there is a one question in the high order thinking skills. High order thinking skill. This question is related to your topic only. This is revenue receipts only. Related to the revenue receipts only. Okay. So let us read the question. Okay. Is borrowing by the government a revenue receipt? What do you think, Bete? Borrowing by the central government, for example, by the central bank from World Bank or the central bank of Japan, or borrowing from the public, got it? By the central government, is the part of revenue receipt? Do you think revenue receipt? Yes or no? No. Reason. Mansik, can you let me know why not? So there is only one reason. You have to see here what is liabilities, effect on the liabilities or effect on the assets. No, very good. Yes. Good job. But we have to give the reason also, it is. Okay? It creates liabilities, yes. It let government of India borrow 50,000 crore rupee from public or World Bank or Central Bank of Japan. It creates corresponding liabilities, means government has to repay principal as well as rate of interest. So it creates liabilities. Got it? Which is why borrowing is not revenue receipt, but these are the capital receipts. Capital receipts. Borrowing, capital receipts. As you borrow from your friends, okay, sometime, okay, occasionally you borrow from your friends, so that is also liability. Does not mean that the amount of 500, 1000, 10,000, which is given by your friend is only donation. Okay, that is not donation. Okay. So borrowings, keep in mind, this is MCQ also, MCQ. MCQ. MCQ means, do you think, okay, the same question, borrowing by the central government or state government is are revenue sheets? No, these are capital sheets. Reason, create corresponding liabilities. Okay? So in your book, they have constituents of the revenue receipts. So the revenue receipt, generally we will talk about the GST. Main is GST. So they have segregated the different duties. Okay, GST and direct tax. GST and direct tax. So to Monday onward. Okay, we will continue with the same. So please keep on making your notes. Okay, and also keep revising slowly and gradually. You are approaching to term number 1. Term 1. Okay, September, October, and November. Take care. Bye, beta.